Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Febiana Saron Ilyas. In this video, I will read about Alice's Adventure in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. The first chapter, chapter 1, about the title Down the Rabbit Hole. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and having nothing to do. Once word which she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no picture or conversation in it. And what is the use of a book of Alice without picture or conversation? So she was considering in her own mind as well as she could, for the whole thing made her feel very sleepy and stupid, whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisy. When suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her. There was nothing so very remarkable in that, nor did Alice think it so very much out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, oh dear, I shall be too late. When she thought it over afterward, it uh, occurred to her that she ought to have wondered at this, but at the time it all seemed quite natural. But when the rabbit actually took a watch of its waist waistcoat pocket and look at it, and then hurried on. Alice started to her feet, for it flashed across her mind that she had never before seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take off it, and burning with a curiosity, she ran across the field after it and was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge. In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again. The rabbit hole went straight on like a tunnel for some way, and then dipped suddenly down, so suddenly that Alice had not a moment to think about stopping herself before she found herself falling down what seemed to be a very deep well. Either their well was very deep, or she fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time as she went down to look about her and to wonder what was going to happen next. First, tried to look down and make out what she was coming to, but it was too dark to see anything. Then she looked at the sides of the well and noticed that they were filled with cupboards and bookshelves. Here then he and there she would show maps and picture hung upon page. She took down a jar from one of the shelves as she passed. It was labeled orange marmalade. But to her great disappointment, it was empty. She did not like to drop the jar for fear of killing somebody underneath, so managed to put it into one of the cupboards as she felt puzzled. Well, thought Alice to herself, after such a fall as this, I shall think of nothing of tumbling downstairs. How brave the all think me at home! Why, I will not say anything about it, even if I fell off the top of the house, which was very likely to. Down, would the fall never come to an end? I wonder how many miles I've fallen by this time, she said aloud. I must be getting somewhere near the center of the earth. Let me see, that would be 4,000 miles down, I think. For you, she Alice had learned several things of the shore in the hard lesson in the schoolroom, and thought this was not a very good opportunity for showing off her knowledge, as there was no one to listen to hear Still, it was good practice to say it over. Yes, that's about the right distance, but then I wonder what length or length I've got to. Alice had not the slightest idea what length was or length either, but she thought the varnish grand words to say. Presently she began again. I wonder if I shall fall right to the earth. How funny it all seemed to come out among the people that walk with their heads downwards. The antipathies, I think she was rather glad there was no one listening this time, as it didn't sound the right word. But I shall have to ask them what the name of the country is, you know. Please, ma'am, is this New Zealand or Australia? And then she tried to courtesy as she spoke, Fennica saying as you falling through the air, the air. Do you think you could manage it? And what an ignorant little girl she'll thank me for asking? No, it'll never do to us. Perhaps I shall see it written up somewhere. Don't. There was nothing else to do, so Alice's son began talking again. Dina, I will miss me very much tonight. I should think. Dina was the cat, the it. I hope they'll remember his saucer of milk at the time. Dina, my dear, I wish you were down here with me. The unknown match in the hour, aren't I? I'm afraid, but you may catch a bat. And that's very like a mouse, but do cats eat bats? I wonder. And here Alice began to get rather sleepy and went on saying to herself in a dreamy sort of way, do cats eat bats? Do cats eat bats? And sometimes do bats uh, eat cats. For you, see, as she could not answer either question, it didn't much matter which voice put it. She felt that she was dozing off and had just begun to dream that she was walking hand in hand with Dina and was saying to his very earnestly, no, Dina, tell me the truth. Did you ever eat a bat? When suddenly, down she came upon a heap of sticks and dry leaves and the fall was over. Alice was not a bit hurt, and she jumped up onto her feet in a moment. She looked up, but it was all dark overhead. Before he was another long passage, and the white rabbit was still inside. Hurrying down it, there was not a moment to be lost away when Alice, like the wind, and was just in time to hear it say as it turned a corner. Oh my ears and whiskers, how late it's getting. She was close behind it when she turned the corner, but the rabbit was no longer to be seen. She found herself in a long, low hall which was lit up by a row of lamps hanging from the roof. There were doors around the hall, but they were locked, and when Elise had been all the way down one side and up the other, trying every door, she walked slowly down the middle, wondering how she was able to get out again. Suddenly, she came upon a little tree-ledge table, all made of solid glass. There was nothing and it but a tiny golden key, and Alice's first idea was that this might belong to one of the doors of the hall. But alas, either the locks were too large or the key was too small. But at any rate, it would not open any of them. However, on the second time around, she came upon her low curtain as she had not noticed it before, and behind it was a little door about 15 inches height. She tried the little golden key in the lock, and to her great delight, it fitted. Liz opened the door and found that it led into a small passage, not much larger than a rat hole. She knelt down and looked along the passage into the loveliest garden you ever saw. How she longed to get out of the dark hall and wander about among these beds of bright flowers and these of fountains, but she could not even get her out of the doorway. And even if my head would go to the top for a list, it would be a very little use without my shoulders. Oh, how I wish I could shut up like a telescope. I think I could, if I only knew how to begin. For you see so many of the way things had happened lately that Elise had begun to think that very few things in it were really impossible. There seemed to be no use in waiting by the little door, so she went back to the table, half hoping she might find another key on it, or at any rate in a book of rules for shooting people up like telescopes. This time she found a little bottle on it, which certainly was not here before, sighed Alice, and tied round the neck of the bottle was a paper label with the words "Drink me" beautifully printed on it in large letters. It was a very well to say "Drink me," but the wish little Alice was not going to do that in a hurry. No, I will look first side and see whether it is my poison or not. For she had read several niche little stories about children who had got burned and eaten up by wild beasts and other unpleasant things, all because they would not remember the simple rules their friends had taught them, such as that red hot poker will burn you if you hold it too long, and that if you cut your finger every deeply with a knife, it easily bleeds. And she had never forgotten that if you drink much from a bottle-like poison, it is almost certain to disagree with you sooner or later. However, this bottle was not Mike poison, so Alice ventured to taste it, and finding it very nice, it had in fact a share of mixed flavor of cherry tart, custard, pineapple, roasted key, toffee, and hot butter toast. So very soon finished it off. What a coarse feeling, sighed Alice. I must be setting up like a telescope. And so it was in it. She was now only 10 inches high, and her face brightened up at the top of the. She was now the right size for going through the little door into that lovely garden. First, however, she waited for a few minutes to see if she was going to shrink any further. She felt a little nervous about this, for it might end, sighed Alice to herself, in my going out altogether like a candle. I wonder what I should be like then. And she tried to find what the flame of a candle looks like after the candle is blown out. For she could not remember ever having seen such a thing. After a while, finding that nothing more happened, she decided on going into the garden at once. But also for poor Elise, when she got to the door, she found she had forgotten the little golden key. And when she went back to the table for it, she found she could not possibly reach it. She could see it quite plainly through the glass, and she tried her best to climb up one of the legs of the table, but it was too slippery. And when she had tried herself out with trying, the poor little thing sat down and cried. Come, there is no use in crying like that, said Alice to herself rather softly. I advise you to leave off this minute. She generally gave herself very good at fetch, though she very seldom followed it, and sometimes she scolded herself so severely as to bring tears into her eyes. And once she remembered trying to box her on earth for having cheated herself in a game of Etiquette. She was playing against herself, for this girl's child was very fond of pretending to be two people, but it's no use now, thought poor Alice. To pretend to be two people, why? There are hardly enough of me left to make one respectable person. Soon her eye fell on a little glass box that was lying under the table. She opened it and found in it a very small cake on which the words "Eat me" were beautifully marked in currants. Well, I will eat it, sighed Alice, and if it makes me grow large, I can reach the key, and if it makes me grow small, I can creep under the door. So either way, I will get into the garden, and I don't care which happens. She added a little bit and sighed initially to herself. Which way? Which way? Holding her hand on the top of her head to feel which way it was growing. And she was quite surprised to find that she remained the same size. To be sure, this is what generally happens when one eats cake, but Alice had got so much into a way of expecting nothing but of the way things to happen that it seemed quite dull and stupid for life to go on in the common way. So she set the work and very soon finished of the cake. And that's all about for chapter one. Uh, thank you. See you in chapter two. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.